So welcome back to a new Game Stuff episode. And there's been some construction on the street. It's been very loud. And I've been waiting for it to subside. I think it has. So I think now is the time to shoot this episode while everybody's on their coffee break over there, which is really good. And I just want to say that these are some really interesting items. And I'm going to start off with a really cool, funny story. Life is so cool in the year 2019 when this is being shot right now with people knowing each other around the world and technology and the way to share information. Okay, it starts off with some friends of mine, Danny and Evelyn, and they have a Nintendo channel called NintendoCade. And they were at the New York Nintendo store. And they were looking for some Link's Awakening stuff. It was like the launch of Link's Awakening. And they were doing a live stream. And it was so cool for me. There I am in Vancouver watching these guys go to the Nintendo store, and they're filming in the store and they're showing all the cool merchandise that's only related to that store. You can't get a lot of this stuff anywhere else. And I was in the comment section and I was having a really good time with them, and I was having fun watching them have fun. And then they passed a rack, and there was some shirts on this rack, and I was like, oh my god, look at that Link's Awakening shirt. And they picked it up and they were looking at it. And it was all the Japanese writing. And as you know, I'm a big Link's Awakening fan. I love the game. I think it's really, really great. And so I thought, I have their number. I'm going to text them. So I'm sitting there while they're doing their live stream. This is the power nowadays and technology and how cool it is. And I'm texting them saying, oh my god, guys, I'll pay for the shirt and the shipping. Can you grab me that shirt? I would love to own it. And they're like, yeah, type of thing. So I talked to them on the way home. They picked up the shirt for me, and I said, you know what? I'm going to send you all of the Link's Awakening cups from 7-Eleven. Let me do that for you as a way to thank you for it. So I send them that off. And so all of a sudden, Danny says, yeah, Evelyn's going to send you something as well. And I'm like, really? I'm like, okay, don't go out of your way. Don't be crazy, guys. Thank you for doing me the favor, right? So all of a sudden I get this package, and we'll look at the shirt first, and it's right here. It's all the way from New York City, and I want to thank Danny and Evelyn again for making the rounds and picking this up for me. This is such a cool shirt. All right, we're in. It's got the official Nintendo seal on it here. So I went to that Nintendo store one time when I was in New York City. It was really cool. But there is the shirt. I'm knocking that out of the way. But I wanted you to see it up close, and I really, really like that. I love the Japanese lettering. Very Laputa kind of thing from Miyazaki, that kind of writing on there. So I really like this shirt. This is going to be a shirt I wear around the house. Oh, there's Link down below. Am I even showing him right? There we go. Perfectly. So they got the shirt. That's all I wanted. I thought that was so awesome. And then I opened up the package, and this was there. And it says, it's dangerous to go alone. Take this. And there's a little Triforce on there. And I'm like, what is going on here? And I opened it up. And this is unreally cool. Look at this. The characters from Link's Awakening are engraved on here. And also, my name is on the bottom engraved. And Evelyn does this. She engraves glasses and things like this. I thought she had it made somewhere. No, she did all of the work on this. And Evelyn and Danny, I can say to you both, thank you so much. I really, really appreciate it. And I tell you, that's what the community's all about. And, helping each other out and stuff like that. And I just want to say a big thank you for that. I think that is so awesome. This is going to become a glass that is used around here, or at least put on display, because I just don't want to wear this out because it's so awesome. But thank you again so much. Now, all right, let's get into it. There's a lot of other stuff to talk about here. We have one main item here that I spent a bit of money on, and this is something to improve the show for the future going forward. And this is funny because a lot of my friends who have YouTube shows have this device, and I honestly should have gone this years ago. I really should have, and I've spent too much time to get to it, but thank God I'm here. I finally got a Framemeister. I finally decided to go and pick one up, and the reason why is because there's a lot of upcoming episodes of the show where I talk about a lot of older games. and I want to go and hook up my systems and grab the footage from my old machines and have them upscaled. So for anybody who doesn't know, this is an upscaling device from Japan, and it's really second to none. It's really amazing. So I just want to thank GameSack and My Life in Gaming for featuring this in some videos and really bringing it to the mainstream, because I wouldn't have known about this. And I'm going to talk about using it and how it's been for me and all that kinds of stuff. So let's start at the beginning. I got the device, and as you can see, everything is in Japanese on there, even the controller. And so the first night I get everything set up, I'm like, okay, I'm ready to go. I hook up my PS1. I'm like, let's do this. Let's do this. And I get no picture. I get nothing. I don't know. I'm like, what is going on? And thankfully, I have a friend that lives across the road, my friend Rattel, and he has a Framemeister, and I've been going over to his place to capture a lot of footage for the show, and I felt so bad. I was like, I gotta get my own Framemeister so I don't bug Rattel anymore. But he came over, and he walked me through how to use this thing, and I must admit, I watched My Life in Gaming's video on it as well, and I'm not technically minded when it comes to this kind of technology. So I watched a lot of videos and all that, and I must say, for a casual person getting this, it is a little bit daunting. I'm being honest with you. It's not something you open up and it's like, you press one button and it's going. There's a few settings you have to go through. There's a lot of things you have to do, and I mean, you can't not watch My Life in Gaming's video enough. And I gotta thank My Life in Gaming as well, because they pointed out something that I bought that just showed up. This is such a cool thing, because the controller on this side is in full Japanese. Some amazing people on eBay for like $10 have an English overlay. So I bought it and stuck it on, so all of it is in English now. My friend Rattel has this memorized in Japanese. I was like, I don't think it's gonna work for me that way. So this has helped out quite a lot by being able to see because before it's just like, what am I looking at? What am I actually looking at? So I think the device, here's my review, is phenomenal. I think it's really good. I was capturing a lot of different footage from my PlayStation 1, my PlayStation 2. Looks so good. I mean, it looks the best it's gonna look. It's upscaled and to 1080, and it looks stupendous. I'm really happy with the results. And also, from somebody who's a retro gamer, I just love being able to play my original games on my original hardware on my TV. And it's something, yes, you'll all be like, John, why didn't you do this a long time ago? You're right, I should have. And I'm doing it now, and I feel it's something I should have done a long time ago. It's unreal. And you see all these games up here, right here, all of these PC Engine games, they will finally be accessible to the show, because I've never had a good way to capture them, where I have a Turbo Duo modded, and now I can hook up, that through component video to the Framemeister. So expect some stuff in the new year. That's when it'll start really cranking out. But I can't wait for some upcoming episodes where I can show some old games that I have that I can finally present. And I'm really, really happy that I picked this up. And I'm telling you, it's an investment. But for me, it was an investment into the show. That's why I decided to do it. Now we're going to get into some video games here. We're going to get into some games. And there's a few really cool ones here. The first one is this one. I got this from PlayAsia. I ordered it months ago. It finally showed up. I did a review on this on the channel, and that is Dragon Quest 1, 2, and 3, the original games. Now, these are the mobile ports ported to the Nintendo Switch here. And how is it? I talked about it in my review. It's a mixed bag. I felt bad because there's a lot of good stuff in here. We get Dragon Quest 1, 2, and 3, and you get to finally play those games on a console that is not the NES, I'm saying, right? Not the NES. And the graphics are kind of a bit miss. They're really good in 3, but in 1 and 2, they're okay. They're the mobile ports, and I think it's okay. But for me as a Dragon Quest collector, I thought this was a must-buy. I also think that it's worth playing through these games if you've never played Dragon Quest 1, 2, or 3. I think there's some history here that everybody should definitely check out. But do I wish they were better, not even better ports, do I wish they were better remakes? Absolutely. I wish that the combat was animated, that the monsters would move while you fought them, where there was the characters moving around the screen really looked a little bit more alive than just kind of a pasted on image and with a little bit of animation. I really wish they spent some time, because these games are classics of the genre. These games defined a generation, and that's why I was a little harsher in my review on these 3 games. But they're also budget title games that you can get cheap. But I paid like over $80 to get this game imported. Then for some reason, I always would play Asia, I always get dinged with customs. So I just had to pay another $20 at the door. I'm just like, God damn, Canada customs that way. But happy to get the game, and a great part of my collection for sure, for my Dragon Quest collection. All right, I swear to God, every time I do one of these Game Stuff episodes, I'm always talking about a game that everybody in the universe has played except for me. And I'm always like, oh my God, why haven't I played this game? I really should have spent some time with it. And I never did. I never got around to it. I've had friends of mine going, what, you haven't played the game? Where I got it from Limited Run, and that is Celeste. And I've heard nothing but amazing things about the platforming in this game and the music. The music alone, people tell me, just get the game for the music alone. And I'm really fascinated. I will be trying this out. And there's the little cardboard that comes with the game from Limited Run. So kind of interesting. What do you guys think of Celeste? Are you huge fans? I know a lot of you out there are. Some of you play the game and don't really like it. I've heard nothing but praise, so I'd be surprised if people are like, nah, I'm a little on the fence with that one. From Bandai Namco, this showed up. Ninokuni on the Nintendo Switch. I did a review of the PS4 game versus the PS3 game. And I must admit, I really like the original game. I really like it. The combat's a little bit whatever at times, but overall, I think it's a really strong game, and it was a real big return into the JRPG world. I was really happy to see the graphics on it back in the day. I was like, oh my God, look at this thing. And so the interesting thing about Ninokuni here on the Nintendo Switch is this is the PS3 port. This is not the remastered version that's on the PS4. This is just the port of the PS3. How do I feel about that? I was doing a lot of thinking the other day about remasters and ports, and I know some people don't like that, and I'm the first person to say I really do. Because I like having modern hardware where I can play it on, and I can play Ninokuni on the Nintendo Switch. I can play a portable version of this game. That is the power of the Switch, though, isn't that? That's the thing that we love about it. That portability is so fantastic that we will kind of say, okay, well, you know, it may not be the remastered PS4 version, but I got this version, and the PS3 version was great. To begin with, that's the funny thing with a lot of older games on the, say, PS3. They're not that old. You'll go and play them again. I played Ninokuni on the PS3 to capture footage for it, and I'm like, this game holds up incredibly well. A lot of the games from that era do. PS1 and N64 can be a bit of a mixed bag, but I think this is definitely worth picking up on the Nintendo Switch. If you're trying to decide on the PS4 version or the Switch version, what are you looking for? Are you looking for better frame rates? Are you looking for some portability? Put that into your thought process when picking this up or not picking it up. Now, this showed up from Xseed Games, and I was like, oh my God, what is this? A remake of the original? I used to play the original all the time at sleepovers and parties for my friends and, you know, birthdays and things like that. We always played the original Burgertime, and this is called Burgertime Party. And it's so weird. I don't know anything about this game. It's a side view game again. It looks kind of like the original, but with better graphics and I think more stages and just more interactivity and more things that you can do within it. And I think it's kind of fascinating. It's a bit of a nostalgic thing. This is one that I can't wait to play on a little trip or something like that for, you know, maybe about an hour or something like that. Put some time into Burger Time, party time. Next up was an item that I was on the fence about. I'm like, am I getting this? Am I not getting this? I put it in a cart. I would say, no, I'm not getting it. It's too expensive. Now, okay, I'll get it. No, I'm not getting it. Yeah, no. I went back and forth on this one for a long time, but I was truly happy when it showed up. And it was a lot of people watching the show are like, Johnny, you got to get this item. I just picked it up. And I'm like, oh my God, the expense of this item is stupid. It's over $70 for, and this is Canadian, over $70 for this. It's a trilogy album. And it's like, how could I not get this of all items? A lot of things I pass up on. The Ninja Warriors. The Ninja Warriors. So I do believe this is the arcade game. Also, it is the Super Nintendo game. And it is the new remastered version of the Ninja Warriors. Which, if you haven't picked it up, please go and get the game and have a good time with it. My high recommendation of 2019 so far is the Ninja Saviors, for sure. It's called the Ninja Warriors in the original Ninja Saviors in the new remakes right now, I think because of licensing issues and stuff like that. But look at all the music on the back of here. And it was just one of those things I said, okay, you know what? I'm going to make the plunge. And I'm very thankful to have this part of my collection. A big fan of the Ninja Warriors, and I can't wait to start listening to the music. So, okay, this is a really novelty item, and I have to get a battery to put into this thing, but recently I had a friend of mine, the Vintage Video Game Geek, came up to Vancouver, and he gave me a couple of presents, and he was really nice about that. I shot a Q&A with him. It's going to be on his channel, and one of the presents was this. This is awesome. It's one of these handheld Street Fighter devices from back in the day, Electronic Capcom Street Fighter by Tiger. And I'm just going to bring that right up there. Oh my God. These machines back in the day were ridiculous, but if you could get your hands on one, it was pretty exciting. Yes, of course it wasn't anywhere near what the original games were, but it was a bit of a novelty. It's funny, I can flick the screen. Can you see that? It's Bison Stage? I can almost see it in the light there. How about we go that way? Nope, it's this way. There, I can see it on the TV in the back there. But it says Bison Stage, and it would have the, oh my God, the terrible LCD characters in front, doing like 2 frames of animation. Oh my God. So I want to thank the Vintage Video Game Geek for presenting me with this. What an honor, truly. Now, next up is the Trails of Cold Steel 3, the Collector's Edition. Now, this game just recently came out. I was very, very happy to get this, and I'm going to do an unboxing with you guys to have a look at this. So, the top has been removed. This is everything in here. So, let's bring out the first thing, which is the game itself. And the game has been getting really amazing review scores. I have had some friends of mine review it who I really trust, like Tark's Gauntlet. He really enjoyed the game, and he spent a lot of time putting into it. And me and Kim are at the end of the very first game, but really happy to get this. I also have the second game, so plans are to go through that one as well and move into the third game. And what else have we got in here? Oh, here we go. Here is the Steelbook. I'm going to try to get some good light there. There we go. The Steelbook, front and back. And there we go with the inside with some beautiful artwork going on. Yeah, the art and graphics in this game look really nice. I really am happy to see that. And this is the CD soundtrack right here as well. And we've got around 20 different songs on there for the game. How are you guys liking the third game? I'm really curious to know. Is it living up to expectations? Is it better than the first and second game? Because this is the first time NIS has taken over, right? So I'm just kind of curious what you guys think. Oh, I always like doing this. I've been doing this on the show for so many years where I open up the art book and I just kind of flip through it, and then you guys can always see my reactions, and I'm like, oh my God, the character designs, and oh my God, look at the the mecha, the monster designs. And you know what? I gotta be honest, look at actually the mechs look really good. They look really, really nice in there. That's awesome. I love that kinds of stuff. Character designs are great. Yeah, this is really, really great artwork. And you know what? I always want to support an RPG series from Japan. Because, back in the day, they were so few and far between, and we're getting some really good ones. And I think a lot more people should try out these games, because I know the hardcore audiences play them, but the mass audiences don't. And so that's why I always want to try to convince some more people to start playing some of these, JRPGs and seeing what we've all been going crazy over the years. Now, this, I believe, is some postcards from the game itself. Like, look at this. So here's the back, and these are locations from the game. And they look really nice. I'm looking at them in the TV right here. That's really neat. That's really cool. Now, I almost forgot the last item that's in here is a very interesting one for Falcom fans. And I'm a Falcom fan. Does anybody know what this is? It's coming out. It's coming out. Now this is Mishi, the official mascot of Falcom. I don't know how many people know that. Oh man, I definitely have a place for Mishi on my shelf over here. This is such a cool thing to own. And the interesting thing is, he showed up in Ys 8 as well. So very big mascot that not a lot of people know is the mascot. They don't push him a lot. He's kind of shows up here and there, and very neat to have it part of the collector's edition. So very looking forward to this game. I can't wait to try it out in the future and see if it lives up to the hype. Now, I got my Nintendo Switch Lite, and I've really been enjoying it. I really think it's a great machine. And I said I was going to get a case for it, and I didn't know what case to get, and everybody's been asking me, what case did you finally end up with? Where I went onto Amazon, and I was looking at every single case available, and there's a few things that I thought about, and a reason why I bought this particular case, and I hope I get the name right. I finally picked it up, and I bought it not for a name brand or anything like that, but for its durability. And the reason why is because the Nintendo Switch comes in a box. It doesn't have a dock or anything. So a case is so important. And I thought, okay, it's gonna come on trips with me and all sorts of things. So I need a really good case that can protect it. And so guys, this is what I picked up. Look at this. If you drop this thing, this is going to bounce. Now, I'm not officially saying that, but I'm just saying, to me, this looks sturdy. And it is called the ORZLY, Orzly. The Orzly, if you want to know the name brand, if you're interested in it or not. I'm not advertising for those guys or anything like that. This is just what I bought for myself. And so, there's my Nintendo Switch Lite in there. All snug. I really like these things to hold it in, the elastics to hold it in. And then, you flip this down and you can put all of your Switch games in there. So I like that, and there's some extra things. The only thing that I don't like about the case is I wish I could put the adapter in here, so it'd be like a little bit more of a carrying case, but I didn't want to go bigger than this. Not for traveling and doing all that kinds of stuff, but I'm really happy that it's so durable. I feel like it's in good hands, and that's my main thing. I didn't want to mess this up at all, or drop it, or drop something on top of it, if it's sitting behind the TV before I take it out, or anything like that. And I gotta say, so far, I've been happy with this. It seems to be working really, really well. I feel that my Nintendo Switch is safe. Okay, this is a really cool one. I had a small tear when this showed up, and I never thought I'd see this on Blu-ray, ever. I just never thought it. I knew it was out in Japan. I talked to some friends of mine, and they said, yeah, it's in Japan. And I'm like, do you think we'll get it? Do you think we'll get it over here? And they're like, probably, but you didn't know. This is my favorite Gundam show of all time, or as I like to say, Gundam. It's my favorite of all time, and it's an emotional one. And it's one of those ones, I won't show Kim a lot of mecha anime. Not that she's against it. We watched Macross Plus. She loved it. But I'm not just going to bring up any Gundam movie to show her. It has to be something special. And this is a 6-part OVA, original video animation, that came out in 1989. And the animation blew me away. The story blew me away. The emotion blew me away. I can't talk about where the story goes, because if you guys have never seen this, I highly recommend Gundam 0080 War in the Pocket. And all I can say is this much: is the story is about a boy in elementary school living through the UC universe, seeing the gigantic wars that are taking place at this time, and it's all from his perspective. It's from the perspective of a young kid, his take on war. And I'm getting shivers right now, folks. I love this anime. And this is one that I'm like, Kim, we have to watch this. We are going to watch this. And she's like, okay, and she trusts me. Like we watched Macross Plus, and she thought it was absolutely amazing. And I said, we have to watch this. So she's like, okay. And so she trusts me. If you're on the fence and you've never seen a lot of Gundam, or any of the Gundam stuff you've seen you haven't liked, try this out. This is from 1989. Can you believe I saw this on beta 30 years ago? Now we're into my last Blu-ray here. And another one from the golden past of my youth. I was 9 years old when I watched this. 1983 on television, when TV was just TV and a TV show or miniseries would show up and the whole family got together to watch this. And I have a lot of fond memories of all my family in 83 getting together, my mom and dad and me, and I think my sister even for a little bit, and we watched this. And it was V, the original miniseries. And it's a science fiction kind of epic. It's unreal. It's where, I won't ruin the full story, but where all these giant ships appear around the planet. Kind of like Independence Day. Independence Day obviously came out a long time afterwards. So, but alien ships show up, and all of a sudden the aliens reveal themselves to us, and they're human. And you can't believe it. You're like, oh, I thought they were going to be alien and weird, but no, they're us. Or so we thought. And that's all I will say about this miniseries. I think this is going to show its age. I think it's going to show its age really badly, like the effects and stuff like that. But I have a lot of nostalgia watching this, and it was really creepy to watch this back then. But I'm excited to see it now. Okay, I want to say one thing, that Dungeons & Dragons is on the table again. And the one thing that is super amazing is Kim, my wife, came up to me about 2 weeks ago, and she's like, John, I really want to play D&D. And I'm like, really? I said, do you really want to play it? Like, and the reason why I say that is because she played it when she was younger, and I think she played with some friends that didn't really know what they were doing, and she didn't really take it too seriously. And so I was kind of concerned if she played nowadays with us that she wouldn't take it too seriously. And especially me DMing, I thought that it might create some kind of like strange like relationship between me and Kim playing the game and her being silly with me because we were silly with each other in our relationships. But she's like, no, I really want to sit down. So I sat down and I taught her the entire game. And she's been a bit of a student. She created her character from the ground up, an elf ranger, and created her name, and she was getting so excited creating her character. And I must admit, I was very thrilled about it. I was like, this is going to be a lot of fun. And so we have pretty much a regular game going on now. And Kim hasn't started playing yet. We're going to do a one-on-one session to kind of get her into it and to tell her story, building into our story. But I think it's going to happen that way. And I just want to thank Wizards of the Coast for sending this over. It is called Tyranny of the Dragons. This is 2 modules put into one. Horde of the Dragon Queen and Rise of Tiamat. And I picked both these books up before, and so this was a bit of a surprise. It showed up and I was leafing through it and I was like, oh, this is kind of cool. They combined both these stories all into one book now. And I have not played it, but it definitely looks interesting. And as we're going forward with these games, I'm going to start delving more and more into these because I'm running Saltmarsh still. This one island, I've added so much to it, and one day we're going to have to leave that island. It's going to happen, but maybe we'll move on to something like this. This looks so cool. I love dragons, and that's the one thing that the players haven't done yet. They haven't gone up against any dragons or anything like that, and that would be a really cool adversary for them to take on. So I want to thank Wizards of the Coast for sending this over once again. So guys, we did it. We beat the construction. I think they're starting up again. I better get out of here. So anyways, guys, until next time.